Since I come from a different country, living here in Fargo, North Dakota, that I got to be resilient with the weather, with the language, with the culture.
Where do you think it comes from? Not everybody is resilient.
That's a good question. I think it comes from how your parents prepare you for life.
Yeah.
Starting from that point, because nobody knows about resilience until your parents apply it on you, that you got to suck it up, and you got to get up, and you need to go to the school, or you need to get up and eat, or you got to eat your vegetables, or you got to, just sometimes tough it off after you fall on the ground. So resilience for me comes from that, come from home.
So it's something that gets put into you, something where you get, you think anybody can become resilient?
100%.
Yeah.
100%, but it takes on, teaching, learning, and, training on it. Mm-hmm.
And I've often commented, I call it our immigration policy in this area, the weather. It forces a kind of resilience, doesn't it? Like you said, you have to get used to you have to be resilient to put up with our weathers here, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Just coming from where I come,
much warmer where you come from.
Yes, 100%. And the weather here is challenging.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how many layers you put it on. It doesn't matter that you go to different buildings with heat and vehicles with heat, but you still need to deal with road conditions, the wind, the snow in your face, and the cold himself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely selects for resilience here. So welcome to the show where we explore the who, what, when, how, and why of the extraordinary people who define our north of normal metro. I'm Conrad Fargo, and this is the Fargo Five. Today we have Holger Loor, who's the owner of Ultra Clean Services. See, I told you I'd introduce you. There you are, Holger.
Yes, I guess you did.
And now, you were saying the pronunciation of that is not exactly as my American accent. You kindly let us get away with that. Holger rhymes with Folger, but how are we supposed to say that? What's the?
Okay, so my full name is Holger Vinicio Loor Jacome.
Oh my!
Which is it's too many names for a single person. But the name that I use the most is Holger. Holger. Yeah, something like that. Close enough. And I guess it's because you need to use different muscles in your throat.
Yeah.
Like I find out in my time learning English that English you move your lips, a little faster than you thought, but in Spanish is more your throat.
Oh.
And when you say my name, you got to use those muscles that you don't know you have.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
my wife is Japanese. I don't know if I've told you that. And they have the opposite problem where they're missing all kinds of sounds. So like to her, the word cat and the word cut sound exactly the same because they only have like the 5 vowels. They don't have a or It's the same thing. That's why they mix up the L's and R's. So yeah, going from not all languages are equally complex. Different sounds, different things. So you own a cleaning company. We've had cleaning companies on before. I ran a cleaning company myself for 10 years. Different companies in different stages look different ways. Why don't you start off by telling us what does your typical day look like, or what's your week to week being the owner of a cleaning company? What does that mean?
So yes, I own Ultra Cleaning Services, and I gotta put too many hats during the day, during the week. I'm gonna give you an example of Sunday starts for me. Okay, Sunday we have a meeting with my team. We go over what is gonna happen during the week. So I give my team, the product, the equipment, the protection gear,
and
uniforms.
How many people are on your team?
So for right now, it changes, but right now I have 8 people.
Oh, wow.
Just like pushing to 10.
That's a good size. Are they all full-time or?
Half of them is full-time.
Oh, wow.
The other half is just part-time.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're doing like probably 250 hours a week?
Yeah.
Roughly. At my top, I was 170. So you're way past whatever I got to.
Sorry, man.
No. I gave it up because I hated it.
Yeah,
I could not stomach what it took, and we'll probably get into that, what it takes, the kind of resilience you need. Yeah. But so to more paint the picture here, so every Sunday you meet with the whole crew.
Well, every Sunday.
And are they coming like to your home, or do you have an office? Or?
Yes, I don't have an office 100% yet, but I have a big space in my house that I call my office.
Yeah.
And we meet, we talk about, like what is going to happen during the week, los do and don't, equipment, product. And we talk about any concerns, we talk about any improvements.
Yeah.
So if it's the first of the month, we give some recognitions to the people who did well during the month.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so it becomes kind of fun because it's not just business. We talk about personal life, personal things. And I like that because we are not here just to do the job. We are here to transform places. To be able to do that, we need to know each other as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So, the most difficult part of running a cleaning company is finding people. Like these people, how long is your oldest employee that you have? Like how long have they been with you?
Yes, my longest employee has about 2.5 years.
Yeah. And you've been doing this for how many though?
4 years,
Yeah.
4.5 years.
Yeah, okay. And then, but most of them are probably haven't been on for so long.
Yes, I have people that stay for the long run, talking about probably 8 months. And people that stays for a couple months, they said, this is not for me, whatever,
Yeah.
going to move on. And then I have people coming back, just because what I came to understand that cleaning is not just about cleaning, it's about transforming places, it's bringing energy, it's bringing, safety, to families because we go homes and even though that looks clean, it's not clean because we need to fight with a lot of germs and sickness and bacteria. So we go in and we have a purpose, and I deliver that goal that I have in mind to my team so that they know they're not just cleaners. They are like, safety specialists, in the industry of cleaning. Yeah.
And so I almost want to talk a little bit a shop, as far as structure, because like I said, I ran a similar thing. I ran it in the most crazy backwards way imaginable, but I'm just curious. So are you paying these guys salaries or hourly? You're paying them for that team time? I mean, when they're coming to your house and getting that, are they getting paid for the time that they're sitting at your house?
Yeah, when we have the meetings, it's not pay.
Yeah,
but we got rewards from different ways.
I see.
Because it's not all about money. It's about recognition. It's about feeling like a human being, being heard about like, okay, so I like this, I don't like this. Just giving them the voice, just to come and talk.
Yeah.
When I put money in that time, it changed the demeanor, it changed the time, because everybody wants to go.
You experimented with it.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
When I offer money to come in their free time, because Sunday, let's go.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that.
I'm interested in this, yes.
Yes, when I put money, I noticed that the point is not coming across. It's being rushed. Everybody wants to go in and out, get their money, and let's go.
Yeah.
But when I made it like, okay, and sorry, you're going to make money. I know this is your time, but this is your time to shine. This is your time to be human. This is your time to give recognitions to you or talk about life or family.
Wow.
And that is more, I noticed that is more productive than me paying them.
Where did that, because you're giving them an opportunity to take ownership of the position, right? Like that's the difference of being an owner and and I think people who have never done anything entrepreneurial have a hard time understanding. Like when you have a job, you show up, somebody tells you exactly what to do, they give you money, and it's over, right? When you own something, you're an executive decision maker.
Yeah.
It's kind of a different animal, and you're almost inviting them to give, and you do a lot of stuff that you don't get directly paid for. And in that way, you're almost mirroring that by inviting them to come over and take ownership of the position. And then, so they come over Sunday, and where have you met most of these people? Are a lot of them? I think you and I have spoken. I mean, full disclosure, I've known Holger for a while, right?
Yep.
And we've spoken about your business operations for a while. Are a lot of them from the how do we say the Latino community? Are they all Spanish speakers, or are you guys speaking in Spanish at this Sunday event, or how's that going?
Sure. Yes, I'm open for any kind of culture, just to come on, bring their effort to help me building my business.
Yeah.
Since I speak Spanish, it had been a little easier to connect with the Hispanic community.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, me being Hispanic, I really appreciate the work ethic that Latino community, has.
Sure.
And so for them, it's easier to feel a little more home, not to deal with, English.
Yeah.
Which, everybody needs to speak English. I get it. I'm speaking English right now. But some people, they're not at that level yet.
Yeah.
But they're willing to do everything that they need to do, just to feel comfortable and do their job. And sometimes when I meet them in the same level with Spanish, especially culturally similarities, that I do appreciate, and then more people keep coming back with the Latino community. So I will say I have probably 70% are Latino, and the other percent is local people from Fargo Moorhead.
I can imagine that being, something that cuts two ways, because I'm trying to really start with picturing that Sunday meeting, because I think that's a great idea. Yeah. They come to the large area you have, you're all getting together, but 2/3 of you are most comfortable speaking in Espanol. Is that how you guys are conducting the Sunday meeting, or are you coming down to English for the how do you, whatever, the non-Spanish speakers? What's the word?
Yeah.
There's a word I'm looking for.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever you said. And for that, I got to be really grateful for this community, because they opened the door for me and go get an education. With education, I was able to speak the language. Yeah. No, I still have an accent. I will have my accent for the rest of my life, which I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I conserve my native language.
Yeah.
So in the meetings, how I do is I do a lot of Spanglish, man. a lot of translations. Yeah. But it seems like everybody enjoys, the mix. For me, it's tiring. I need to have 2 cups of water because I go back and forth, and sometimes it's not just English or Spanish. You go Spanglish,
Yeah.
So, and then I see myself, for example, push, right? You got to push that. And then I say, pusheando, which is, totally Tex-Mex or whatever, So I find myself using that kind of English or that kind of Spanish or in between. But my local speakers, they appreciate it. They say, oh, the Spanish sounds so cool. So they don't have idea what we said, because when we start talking in Spanish, things become a little crazy because there's a lot of blah, 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 a lot, So then
it's a very rapid language.
Yes, exactly. So then English, the people who speak English, they just sit and then start just looking at us, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And then I translated to English, which now the Hispanic speakers, they kind of froze up for a minute and I start hearing words that I start recognizing, because they're learning, they're going in their English, and then they hear keywords and say, hey, I know what you're talking about. I say, yeah, pero shut up, let me talk to them, in the most respectful way, But so, and then I noticed that it's not just a meeting that divides in two. Is bringing two together.
Yeah.
Because now I hear my English speakers, saying words in Spanish, palabras en español. And I hear my people, just communicating with these, with the different languages. Yeah. And it's not just words. It's face expressions. It's about mimicking. It's about hand gestures. And it's so beautiful to see how I am fusioning it. I don't know, in español es fusionando, just bringing those teams together.
Yeah.
So.
That is so cool. Yeah, I did Duolingo for 2 years so that I could say, yo soy estudiar Español. And I know that's wrong, and I can't do any of it. What I realized, because when I learned Japanese, I was around a bunch of Japanese exchange students, and that was how, because I speak Japanese very well. But I could never get the Spanish to stick in my head. I should have got a part-time job with you.
Oh, there you go.
That would have. I think you're always looking for extra cleaners. Maybe that's the angle.
Yeah, that's for sure.
People who want to learn Espanol, you'd be a good one to hang out with.
Another thing, too, that I got to add is that, I don't know if that happens to you, happens to me, that when I hear somebody with a different language, English in this point, trying to speak Spanish, it sounds funny, it sounds sexy, it sounds appealing, it sounds cool.
Yeah, sure.
It's the same thing with probably when you hear Spanish and then you hear those words and they said, what else? But it sounds cool.
Yeah.
So in that point, I have a lot of gain, because those languages can attract to each other.
Sure.
So I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, they mix together well. And so you've got this crew of mostly Spanish speakers. Everybody's kind of fusing together, mixing together at 250 hours a week. You aren't getting your hands in the muck anymore, are you?
Yes. if I don't get my hands in the mud, I will not be a good leader.
You think?
Yes.
Okay.
So I gotta keep my cleaning time for sure.
Wow.
Because this is the core of my business.
My goodness. How many hours a week are you doing the actual cleaning yourself?
Well, I was doing about 30, 40.
No.
Just in no.
In addition to managing?
No, just a minute.
Yeah.
And I was doing about what? Probably like 12 hours a week.
Okay. Yeah. Just so you can stay on. Yeah, so you can stay on top of it all, and it's a good workout.
It is. And, you don't need it.
So I say we gave up the cleaning business. We do still have a few accounts that my wife does, and I've got a one helper on the weekend. We do a few things here and there, but my wife keeps her accounts basically because it's good exercise. It's good. It's good at getting paid. Why go to the gym and pay the gym to exercise when you can just go clean, right?
And it's a full workout
because
really you're going to be using muscles that you don't know you have.
1,000%. So, you're spending most of your time managing your cleaners themselves, so you've got about 8 of them. Are they normally going in a team, or are they using their own vehicles, or what's that look like for them week to week, day to day?
Yes. So we have like different cleanings that we do. Cleanings that is just one person is needed. Cleanings that a crew is needed, and cleanings that the whole team is needed. Because we do commercial, residential cleanings, post-construction cleanings, move in, move out.
You name it.
Yeah, you name it. So any kind of cleanings, just I like to be clean. I believe people deserve clean places. So and then I try to bring that to everybody.
That's amazing.
Whoever wants to give me the chance.
Yeah. So I'm sure the week before you're doing all the logistics to kind of route and put everybody in the places and plan it all out.
Yeah.
And then is everybody driving in their own vehicles or?
Yeah. Well, we have a couple that drive their own vehicles for convenience. Yeah. I do have like 2 vehicles from the company.
Oh, great.
But for their own convenience, because we're so like, how can I say it? We're pretty flexible. So basically, when you finish your cleanings, just go home.
Yes.
You don't need to come to the office. You don't need to report. You don't need to do anything like that. So just go home. For the people who use the vehicles, they need to come and stage the vehicle, make sure everything is good to go for the next day, and gas is top. Anyway, so
and that's so because they're normally just going to one place. You don't have them going to 3 or 4 different places during the day, or sometimes they are.
Oh no, we go all over Fargo area.
Yeah. And so again, I really like to talk shop on it because I did this for 10 years.
Yes.
And it was always the issue because we never paid them for drive time. And the reason for that, we paid the mileage, but not the drive time, because I didn't want to incentivize them to take the long way, and then spend extra time driving. I wanted them to get to the next place, and then I just pay them more while they're actually cleaning. Do you have a setup like that? Are you paying them drive time, or are you paying them flat rates, or what's I'm just very curious on those moving parts.
So when we operate Fargo Moorhead area, honestly, we don't have. I pay them a little additional, for the hourly base.
Yeah.
If they use their vehicle, I said, okay, so if you're gonna use your car, I recognize that you use your vehicle, your mileage, and but in town, I don't really put any effort in calculate how many miles we're driving around because I had it covered already. Just give them an extra incentive, in their paycheck.
Yeah.
But when we go out of town, for example, Detroit Lakes, we go to Pelican Rapids. We have a couple accounts that we go and do.
You go all that way, huh?
Oh yeah, we have those beautiful luxurious cabinets.
Yeah, people don't know about the Lake Country.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't growing up because I never had like a lake house out in Pelican Rapids or Detroit Lakes. But it's a whole other world out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of money and a lot of very nice homes.
Yeah, and not a lot of people wants to clean them. So that's why, if you have a lake cabin, just give me a shout. We can clean it for you. Yeah, but so when we go out of town, I pay mileage. I don't do time, the same reasons that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because that there's a lot of people that are motivated by money.
Yeah.
And sometimes that putting them in a different mindset and how to cut corners and how to do this, for their benefit. And let's be real, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
But, so when you have those systems in place, you can limit people just getting to that point, or you getting to any specific point. Not to start creating a lot of changes, because when you see somebody is kind of taking advantage and you want to make those changes, everybody else is going to be affected by it. So and then if you have a system in place, and people are coming in, they adjust to that. Yeah.
So what is it? So when I ran the cleaning company, we really just had like 2 really big accounts, and then we get some small stuff here and there, but it was mostly just like 2 people who had a lot of work to give us. Are you structured like that, where it's really just a lot of a handful of really big vendors, or what's the makeup? Because are you going out? Because that would all be people out in Lakes Country, right?
Yeah.
Like how much of it is regular large vendor? It's the same client or customer over and over again, and how much of it is just onesie twosies? Like what's the makeup of a business?
Yeah. So thankfully I have a handful of commercial cleanings that are day by day, week by week.
Like doing common areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, more than that. So we have a couple of offices here in town that they trust our work. So we go and do the cleanings in, probably 2 to 4 days a week.
Oh, wow.
And after that, I have another clients that they want us every other week.
Well, with the offices, that one can get tricky because they want you to do overnights. I mean, what are your hours of operation?
So basically, we start like around 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Just to give people some extra sleep.
Yep.
And then we go on, start just cleaning common areas, cleaning homes. It seems like that time is perfect for everybody to start just moving around.
Yeah.
If we go really in the morning, we are not successful with finding offices open to give us the keys or people, just running late. It seems like 10 in the morning is a sweet spot for us.
Oh, so you are doing the offices during business hours?
No, the offices is during after hours.
Yeah.
But
so 10 at night?
Yes. No, like we start at 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
We finish, I had 2 different crews.
Oh, okay.
One crew that goes in the morning.
Yeah.
They do everything that is common areas.
Yeah. And another crew that's
outs.
doing overnights.
But
you're on call managing the whole time.
Yes.
So that's why we never went that direction, because I wanted to be 9 to 5, and I didn't want to be because you're at what? 7 at night, 8 at night, 9 at night.
Yeah.
You're getting phone calls and you're wiping people's rear ends.
Yeah. I mean, everything can happen. Usually they're pretty good.
Usually. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I receive a late phone call, sucks, but I got to take it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it goes back to that resilience you're talking
about.
Sir. I don't want it. So good for you, but yeah, that's got to be exhausting. So I kind of get the picture. So you're going what's the latest that you have crews going until?
Okay, so I have a team or 2 that probably they finish about 1, 2 in the morning.
In the morning. So you're going from 9 in the morning to 1 in the morning? You're every waking hour.
Well, but not especially me. If I don't have this amazing team that is helping me, I will be.
But when you're the owner, you're on call.
Yeah, that's for
sure. I mean, you're on call, and don't you have kids? I thought you had kids.
Yeah, I have too many.
Are they with you? Are they? I mean, you're taking care of a family like that too. How old are your kids?
So I have 4 kids.
Yeah.
So I have a set of twins.
Yeah.
MJ and Holger Loor. They're becoming 15 this summer. I have a 13-year-old daughter, AJ Loor. And then I have a almost 10-year-old boy, Nico Loor. So and then...
so they're all a little older. So it's not like you've got toddlers that you're trying to put down to bed or something.
Not yet. So now, I'm married again. And I have a wife who has 2 younger kids.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, oh, no, yes.
Well, no, I mean, it makes it tough. It makes it tough. I mean, because when we did the cleaning company, that was kind of our thoughts is you got to set those boundaries. And I don't want to be going from morning to night on call because, yes, your team is whatever, but stuff happens. I mean, that's why you're the owner is because buck stops with you, right? You got to be on call and you're just committed to that lifestyle.
Yeah. And honestly, I just made this decision not too long ago, last week, and putting a couple things to a stop because it was getting a little too much for me, So then I was not taking care of myself,
yes,
my mental health,
yes,
my physical health,
yes.
So all those things I was procrastinating,
yes,
even having a quality time with my kids.
Yes.
I was putting everything to the side because I have this responsibility. I need to go.
Yes.
And I noticed that I'm too tired.
Yeah.
I'm not focusing. I'm not committed to one thing or another.
Yeah.
So and then I had to make those hard decisions where I had to separate a couple things. Not separate, just let's say cut it off a little bit, just to shape my new me.
And are those crews running on the weekends too, though, or is it strictly Monday through Friday? At least you're doing that.
Weekends we don't. I don't have open for business, but sometimes we have, a customer. They say, "Hey, please help me out." Like we really need you guys, and of course I try to make this team fair for my team. Their time is I pay them extra. And of course, the person who is requesting our business, they need to know that there's not business hours for us.
Yeah, you're charging extra.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you're going not 8 a.m., 9 a.m. What time you wake up? I mean, you're going and you got a whole family. Yeah. And you're going every hour of every day. You're burning the candle at every end. You've got 250 hours under your management. And you're even out in the field doing the work yourself.
Yep.
I mean, and this is only 4 years in.
Yep.
You have got to be tired.
I am, but I have an amazing support system.
Yeah.
Every time that I get up, 4:15 in the morning, I go and do workout with F3. For all my colleagues, F3, here's Pitbull. I'm trying to go every day, but it's not happening.
So you're still getting out and getting an exercise in too.
Yes, but that is something like
you are an animal.
I need it, just to function. That gives me the extra kick, to keep going, and that comes from my experience as a soldier.
Yeah.
Was in the military life, so that we had to get up in the morning, go exercise, and after that, all your day is productive. All your day, when you hit 10 in the morning, you have accomplished so much. When I don't do that, I get up like 6 in the morning when I realize it's noon.
Yeah.
And my productivity is just trash. Anyway, so...
Well, no, this is where I wanted to get to, actually. So this was the next... So I feel like I have the picture painted of where you're at. You have a very successful cleaning company, 250 hours a week. You're managing, burning that candle at every end that you possibly can. Only 4 years in. That's pretty good to be at 250 hours. Where did it start? Where was and where I want to go back to is the conception of the idea. So at what point in your life, what happened where you said to yourself, I'm going to start a cleaning company? Is this the first cleaning company you've ever started? Or where did it all come from?
Sure. Happy to share this. Once again, this is Holger. I come from Ecuador, South America.
Yeah.
And in Ecuador, I always want to be a soldier. My dad, he is a retired soldier from Ecuador. And when I had the opportunity to come here to the United States, that was my dream, to become a soldier. I tried to join in the Marines. Unfortunately, I have tattoos coming from my country, and they're pretty picky about it. So there was a no-go for me, which I do understand. And then I tried for the Army.
Yeah.
Not saying the Army has less standards or anything like that, but the Army was nice enough to give me the opportunity.
Yeah.
To get in the military forces here in the United States, it took some effort, some resilience for me to learn the language, go through the ASVAB test, and all those things. It took me a couple years, but I did. Anyway, so once I got in the U.S. military forces, North Dakota National Guard, I started just learning how to. They destroy my civilian and me and build me back as a soldier. And a soldier has a lot of resilience. They have a lot of attention to details.
So I'm sorry. I thought you said the Army or the National Guard. Those are separate branches,
no, it's
right?
not.
They're the same.
It's Army National Guard.
I know nothing. Okay.
Yeah, it's Army. We have active duty and we have National Guard. We have the same standards, the same training. The only thing is we are more deployable here in home.
Yeah.
Yes, but now that there's more National Guard, they're getting deployed
externally
before the active duty.
But this is where you started, was as the National Guard.
Yeah.
So okay, I want to almost we'll peel the onion back even further then. So I've never lived in Ecuador. What's that like? So like you're born and raised in Ecuador.
Yes.
And you always wanted to be a soldier of any flavor, or you wanted to join the U.S. military for some reason?
No. I want to be the best soldier in Ecuador.
Yeah.
I believe that I am a warrior. I believe that I like everything that is tactical. I believe in everything that is like high speed.
Huh.
So, and then I tried.
Well, but so there's a lot of ways to be a warrior. I mean, you could go into martial arts.
No, not with
The military is...
For me, it's the camouflage uniform, man. The ribbons, the condecorations, the honor that goes behind it.
Where does this... So this is totally... Like, I am deathly afraid of death.
Yeah.
War frightens the heck out of me. I don't want to get shot at under any circumstances. So, like... I understand the impulse and the desire to fight.
Yeah.
I understand the impulse and the desire for honor. But where does the desire to be an enlisted weaponry, like that is a mentality I can't understand. Like, how far back does that go for you? Where does that come from?
Man.
What's it like?
All my family, all my family.
They're all soldiers.
So my dad, like I mentioned before, he was a sergeant major in the Air Force in Ecuador. I have cousins. They're... police officers, soldiers, and everybody has succeeded in their professions, as warriors. And that uniform kind of brings that, I would not say value, but that
prestige.
Yeah. Thank you. And so in my blood is that. A couple of years ago, went back to Ecuador just to tracing down, my roots, and then I find out that I came from this little tiny island in the Pacific. That there is a lot of warrior people.
Yeah.
How do you call? Well, anyway, I forgot where they come from, but I noticed that I come from that place, and that followed me so close that I want to be the best soldier in Ecuador. Unfortunately, you need to have money to be in the military forces.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So in Ecuador, and as most Americans, but it's fine. It's good that I'm ignorant because the listener could be ignorant too.
Yes.
So why don't you help me understand Ecuador? That's South America? I don't know.
Right. Ecuador comes. The name Ecuador comes from the equator.
Oh, sure.
Meaning this is half of the world.
Yeah.
So Ecuador is considered like the belly button of the planet, because it's just right in the equator line.
So is that right where it gets kind of narrow, right in between South America and Mexico?
Yeah. So that's Ecuador is how can I say it, north side of South America. So basically we have after the America gets like a really thin and they start the big continent again. Yep. So we have Venezuela, Colombia, and then Ecuador. And then next to Ecuador we have Brazil, down us, we have Peru, and then the rest of the...
Yeah. That's a big place.
It is,
A lot of different countries, different cultures, right? Like, that's the thing with the Hispanics and the Latinos. We almost try to paint a broad brush to be like, oh, you're all Hispanic.
Yeah.
But it is, like, the culture even is pretty significant. Like, do you feel you get along really well with Mexicans and Brazilians speak Portuguese, right?
Yeah.
But do you all get along because it's all Hispanic, or is it maybe not as? Is it more differentiated, or more? Maybe don't get along. Maybe it's more like the.
So I can put an example here. One time somebody asked me, "Where do you come from?" And then I said, "Ecuador." And then, what is that? South America. Oh, Mexico. I said, no, it's not Mexico. I said, well, everything from down south Texas is Mexico for me. And just, I took it as a ignorance and also funny, but nothing in something that get upset about it.
Yeah.
But and then one time I make these comparisons. So we're here in North Dakota, right? So can I call you Canadian?
Yeah, sure.
And people say, no, what are you talking about? So that's just how South America is. Like, even though that we speak the same languages, more of the countries, everybody is different. Everybody has their own structure. Everybody has their own idioms. Everybody has their own language, their own food.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of similar because if you go to Canada and eat a juicy burger, it's the same but has a different flavor to it. South America is the same thing.
Yeah.
You're going to eat something that is the same but has a different flavor to it.
And so Ecuador specifically, to join the military, they're not like begging you, please join the military. Here's free college. Here's free money. Here's free everything.
Oh, no.
You have to pay them to be in. It really is a horse of another color from here. It's quite prestigious.
Yes. I mean, military forces in Ecuador is not me speaking bad about my country or their way to do business. But so I don't know exactly the name of this. But once you become 18 years old, they come and knock the door and take you to serve your country for 1 year.
Yeah.
But if you want to be more than a Joe or being like we call here people, just fussies who doesn't have no rank, you're nothing. You're just going to serve your country, and after a year, you're kicked out and you're good to go. But if you want to become a leader, if you want to become, like a sergeant or all the ranks in the sergeant, I don't know how to say, an officer, you need to pay a lot of money, so a lot of people don't have those resources to be able to.
It's not purely a meritocracy. Like you have to not just earn your way, but also be able to pay your way up there. Yeah. And that money goes to the military probably to help with their operations, right?
Yeah. So what is the word that you said?
I don't know. I already forgot. It's hard to remember exactly what I'm saying because I'm trying to think of the next thing I want to say.
Go ahead.
Which now I've forgotten about that. See, that's the hard thing about live radio. Holger, is you can get derailed really quickly. What I wanted to paint the picture of was how you couldn't join the Ecuadorian military even though you wanted to. Your family came from that prestige, but you guys just couldn't afford it or otherwise.
Right.
And so, but you're living in Ecuador, and you say to yourself, "I'm going to join the U.S. military." How does that?
How they came to my mind is in the moment that I knew that I was coming to this country. Okay, so for me was the only thing that I can think is to be a soldier. I didn't know much about the U.S.
How is it that you were coming here?
So what happened is I met a lady in Ecuador that she was a bilingual teacher, Kid Anderson, and she moved to Ecuador for 2 years, working in this private school, being a teacher, teaching kids English. And I used to work as a security guard in this prestigious school. Yeah. So and then we met, we fell in love, and she said, "Let's go, you're my souvenir." So she brought me here to the United States, and I started a family with her right away.
That's the mother of your children?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you guys so and that is one of the only ways. The immigration system in the U.S. is bonkers. Right, like
now more than ever, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, just this is not a value judgment or it should be this way, it should be that way. But so I myself brought a souvenir back. I went to Japan to study Japanese. I was a college student, and I met a college girl there, and we went to college classes together. But it was very similar. The only way I could get her over here was to marry her. There was no why don't you come live with me for 6 months and let's see if it works out, right? Like you either do the K1 and marry, or you break up. There's no in between.
There's no in between.
You gotta make that jump. So you guys made that jump, but you were happy to come to the U.S. How did that feel? You were yeah, absolutely. How does it feel as an Ecuadorian wanting to come to the U.S.? Is that?
Yeah. So a lot of people think that, oh man, coming to the United States, the American dream. Yeah. You're coming for better opportunities, for more money, for more status, for more prestige, or whatever. Yeah. But honestly, when you want to go to a different place, you need to leave everything behind, everything that you know.
Absolutely.
Your family, your food, your environment, your people, everything that you know, to come here with a promise of something that probably is not like that. Yeah. So and then I come in here, from the highest of my third world country, come to United States, to be my highest here. That was my purpose to come on this country. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was coming in my new life, but I said I will do it. Yeah. Okay. So we moved to Texas. When I came here, I couldn't speak the language. So my journey in the language had been the most, interesting journey. Yeah.
Wild.
It's not just, I was learning a little bit English, hello, how are you? What is the bathroom? At the restroom? Formal things like that. But when I came here to United States, English is wild. Yeah. Everywhere you go. One time, I remember I was new in the language and I was really eager to use it. And then it says, I went to a place almost cash-wise. I was buying something and then I said, hello, how are you? And the guy says, hey, what's up? And I was just looking up to the ceiling. And I said,
he took it literally.
Yeah. And I got so confused, but I was whatever.
What's up?
Yeah. Another time, there was a Super Bowl party, And I was trying to be like friendly with the boys, with the guys, smiling all the time because I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And they were talking about football, and I don't know nothing about American football, Anyway, I was just trying to fit in, and then suddenly some guy got in the party, and everybody says, "Oh man, the party pooper just showed up. Man, the party pooper is here." And then I started in my mind, I said, "What, man? American people are crazy. So is this guy coming to this party, he's gonna poop?" All night I was just checking this guy, he does business. And I don't know if he did it or not, but I can tell you that I was on the watch. So the idioms is something that like really, really got me really confused. And because of that, many times I felt like people thought that I was stupid because I couldn't understand.
Sure.
And it wasn't. It was not that. It's just like the English has 3 different languages in one: how you write, how you speak, how you read. But moreover is the idioms. The slang.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How soon after coming here did you join the military?
That was about 6 years later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay, so you were here for a minute or two.
Yeah,
and what were you doing in the interim?
So I was working in different jobs that I was living in Texas when I just came here because we were planning to have a better transition from Spanish to English. And the best place we chose was Austin, Texas, just to do the Spanglish, to be with the Spanglish community, but that was not good.
¿Es no bueno?
No bueno. Yeah, that was a lot of Spanglish, so not the real the English that I want to learn.
I see.
Right. So, and I was doing a lot of. I was working for the University of Texas, the UT. I was doing maintenance.
Okay.
So I got that job, and everybody speaks Spanish, so it was easier for me to start finding something productive to do. And then when I came here to Fargo. So basically, I was working in construction. I was working in security.
Still married to this wife.
Yes.
And so she brought you to Fargo for why?
Yeah. So she brought me to Texas.
Yeah.
Because she was planning to better transition. She got pregnant with my twins and said, "You know what? Let's go back home." So she is from Fargo, Moorhead.
I see.
And it says, "Well, you're gonna hate it for the winter. You're gonna hate it for the snow, but you're gonna be all right." And I was just picturing, like in the Christmas movies, the snow just going down. It's, no, that's going to be beautiful.
Oh, no.
And anyway, so...
You learned real quick, didn't you?
Yes. So coming here, I was doing those kind of jobs. But and then I knew that for me to succeed in this country was learning the language, trying to get a degree in something. Because my wife back then got pregnant again. And we were kind of concerned. Well, I was concerned that we were going to have another set of twins, which it didn't happen. But my ex-wife was not happy with that, and she wanna get pregnant again. So then we have 4 kids. Yeah. Now that was me trying to figure out what I'm going to do in life, just to support my family.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and then it came the idea to get my education and start just shooting for the Army life again, which I did. In the Army, they taught me how to be lethal, how to do drills and tactical things. But more than that, they taught me how to be a detail-oriented kind of person. And my first cleaning business that I got was, so after doing a barrack cleaning, the barracks, so drill sergeant came and started just like finger inspecting everything. If something was not right, guess what? You lose your weekend pass. And being in a barrack, in a barracks and with probably 80, 90 men that they didn't get their weekend pass, a lot of problems. A lot of testosterone going on, a lot of fights. And funny enough, I was one of the older ones in that company.
Yeah.
Which later on, they give me the how can I say, the leadership. Because more experience, older, and I was all the time
more
trying
mature,
to...
yeah.
Yes. So, but one time I took the cleaning of those barracks in my hands, and I spent the whole night with a toothbrush, just going everywhere, just trying to figure out what the drill sergeant is looking at, what the drill sergeant is coming to check. So, funny enough, we passed that weekend, so they give us the weekend pass, and everybody was so thrilled, so happy. That the next, you got to do the cleanings. You have like different teams, different days.
Yeah.
So the next team they come and pay me. So, dude, here, bro, help us with this, man.
We want
so,
our weekend pass.
And since
you do
then,
the cleaning, we'll throw money at you.
Since then, I started my experience in boot camp. In my boot camp, we have all our weekend passes, and I was wealthy in that place. So not with money, but I had like candy. You got to understand, basic training is like they take everything from you, even your own persona.
Yeah.
But I was having, like a cell phone that sometimes you're not allowed to have, just to call the family.
Yeah.
Candy, food, just name it.
You can't have a cell phone?
When you're going
Sounds like
through
prison.
Well, it is. They brainwash you, man. So, but for a good reason. So,
not for me.
The first time you gotta like be, just leave all your how can I say it? Your civilian side and become a soldier. Anyway, so more than that, I was in charge of weapons cleaning. Man, you gotta know, like, this is one of the things that the Army or any military force here in the United States are so picky about it. You need to clean your rifle or your gun or whatever like 20 times.
Because you guys have those M16s, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and they get if you sneeze on those, they'll jam up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem.
And
not like a Kalashnikov.
Yeah, and this is one of the things they put in your head. Hey, you got to clean that baby up.
Yeah.
If you don't clean it, that means you're left for the life or death.
Yeah.
So then we had to just like clean it, and I was supervising where I had to put my finger between the barrel, and if you have a little bit. No, you need to go back again. So that attention to detail later became my business.
Yeah.
So, when I in the National Guard, when I joined to my unit, I was a truck driver in the beginning. Later, I became a military police, where I applied a lot of principles of my education plus the Army. And on my civilian side, I became a law enforcement. So I was a police.
You were a police officer for how long?
I was a police officer in Clarett City for 1 year, but I couldn't speak.
Where is that?
Clarett City. That is like 50 miles from Alexandria.
Oh, wow.
Near to the Sioux tribe.
Yeah.
Minnesota side, yes.
Yeah.
So I did 1 year, but I hated it. I was not confident with my language and the ABCs, all that kind of stuff. So it was throwing me off, which I decided to put a stop in that job and come back and educate myself a little better. In the meantime, I was working in the juvenile detention center, so I worked there for a couple of years. Something that we call as a CO. But I was not a CO, but I was in the detention.
Officer,
Yes, so I spent a good time, and I decided to go back to college since the Army was paying for my education.
Yeah.
I decided to get a degree in criminal justice and emergency management. That was a fresh.
But none of that led
profession.
to the cleaning company. I don't want to cut you off, but the show. I don't. You're not going to believe it. It's already 55 after.
Okay, so to make it quick, none of those degrees cannot, other than the law enforcement, being a soldier, I use those principles to create my business because I didn't work for people. I want to give my time no more because in those jobs that I mentioned, there was, your time is somebody else's time.
Yeah.
So, I was missing a lot at home. I was not for birthdays. I was not for special occasions, sports, or anything like that. So I decided to cut my dream professions to the side and says, okay, now what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with everything that I know?
Yeah, what's in front of you and what can you do?
Yeah, attention to detail and cleanliness. That was something that said, man, I can do this.
And you started that in Fargo here 4 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was just you by yourself cleaning at first, or how did you jump off?
So basically, I had my wife now, Belen Garzon, that she is in Ecuador right now.
Yeah.
I was talking to her and says, hey, what can I do? I had all those ideas. But she was pretty much, my motivator. Says, hey, if you do this, you can do this. And she provided a lot of support, some money as well.
Yeah.
And then I says, yeah, you know what? I will do it. And she was my motivation to pull the trigger. So and then after that, I've been talking to her all the time, and she's sometimes because she is not 100% resident yet, she comes and goes, and she is the one who gives me some push, extra advice or extra whatever, so and that's how I still motivated with my cleaning company now because I was lethal. And then I was chasing bad people. Now I'm chasing dust bunnies. I chase some, sickness and chasing all that. And, I'm still serving my community. I'm still bringing some safe place to people who give me the opportunity to clean their businesses, their houses, their vehicles, or whatever they want to.
It's an interesting cross application of your skills. That's for sure. And gosh, I think it's interesting. There's all kinds of really neat things I would like to touch on, but the show is only an hour long. So,
I get it.
That's the show. We're going to get out by listening to your show, the song you chose, which is "Hey You" by Dope Lemon.
Yes.
How'd you hear? Are they? So YouTube fed them to me a year ago. I love this song. How did you hear about it?
I don't know exactly where the song come from. I think I was just hearing in the radio, maybe from this radio station.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
And then
KRFF has good music.
Yeah, and then I love, the bass and how the music starts just slow.
Song. I like it.
And then the message, the message kind of have a lot to do with experiences in my life. And I love it. I love everything that Dope Lemon has to offer. It's not the only kind of music that I listen, because I like salsa music, I like vallenato, all the Latino, but at the same time.
We've got 60 seconds before it's about to cut off. So if people want to get a hold of you, they want to hire you, or they want to hear more of your story, talk to you, or maybe even be employed by you. Cleaning companies are always looking for employees. How can people find you and reach out to you?
Yes, please find me as Ultra Cleaning Services. Phone number is 218-790-1514. 218-790-1514. And give me a call. We can have a cup of coffee, and we can get to know each other. Call me. Thank you.
Y en español, por favor.
Español. Si en español nos contactas a Ultra Cleaning Services, nosotros tenemos el número telefónico 281-790-1514. Y este es Holger con Ultra Cleaning Services. Llámame para tomar una taza de café y conocernos. Muchas gracias.
Muy bueno. Y soy Conrad Fargo. You can find me anywhere you type in Conrad and Fargo. You put those two words together. You can like, share, subscribe, do those things. Listen to me. Let me know you love me by showing those subscriptions. We're going to listen to the Dope Lemon song. Holger, thank you so much for coming and sharing your story. Amazing story. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we will see you all next week. Goodbye.